It's been a while since I actually made a video on this channel. And yeah, if you can't tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about like the Alien franchise as a whole. Because originally I did actually have a review for Alien Romulus, but I didn't think that was good enough. I don't think that did justice. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually seen the original Aliens film, the 1986 version. So I decided to actually go back and rewatch that. And I gotta say, it's amazing. And I did see the Alien film when I was like super young. Terrified me, ain't gonna lie. But I never saw the sequel, which is weird because I was more of a Predator slash Terminator fan. I was like super heavy into that. I watched Alien versus Predator, like all the movies when I was younger. Yeah, I know they're not that great, but they're still pretty cool. But regardless, I went back to go watch Aliens just to get a better understanding of the creature of the Xenomorph and some clips from the Alien vs Predator franchise, and I gotta say, these things are terrifying. I'm just gonna summarize my review on Alien Romulus real quick. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great because it brought back its roots to the original franchise. It had the perfect element or the perfect blend between horror and action, something that's honestly kind of hard to replicate with modern Xenomorph films. I don't know why. Say what you want about Covenant, I don't think it was great. I really don't think it was great. While Prometheus tried to do something cool, at the same time, it didn't really work. Yeah, Ridley Scott is a brilliant person, but at the same time, it feels like he failed to capture like what made the original Alien so special by inserting something new, by giving them an origin, which honestly doesn't really work. I kind of like the whole thing where like the Xenomorph is like this primordial ancient alien, something that evolved like naturally out in space. It's something that we don't know. I always like the aspect of the unknown, but the fact that they gave it an origin, honestly, it's not that great. It never really sat well with me. Prometheus and Covenant tried to do something different, but ultimately it never really ended up working. That is until Alien Romulus came out, and it pretty much took back the franchise to its roots. And honestly, I think it's been a pretty good past few years for Terminator slash Predator fans, because we got Prey. I still haven't seen that actually. It's on my list. I just haven't had time. I've heard many great things about that. I know they're making a sequel towards to Prey, which is actually set in the far distant future, which is super exciting. Even the director for Alien Romulus said, yeah, I would 100% be down to do another Alien versus Predator remake slash reboot. I have a couple ideas how that would work. Honestly, I would love to see that. Something, throw the Colonial Marines in there, throw the Xenomorph, and just throw horror. It would be like the best thing, because like I said, Alien Romulus combines the perfect thing of Alien and Aliens, and the fact that it's set in between both of those films is honestly pretty cool. Now I'm not gonna call you lame if you like the Covenant or the Prometheus films. Go for you. It did have some interesting concepts. I really like David as the android, but I just really despise the fact that they try to give them an origin. It just doesn't really work out. Yeah, the engineers were pretty cool. I will admit the alien at the end of Romulus was absolutely terrifying, and if you see some of the behind the scenes footage, that's even scary. That's truly terrifying. But overall, as a thing, the Xenomorphs are really terrifying. Looking at the first two original films, I'm not gonna count Resurrection or Alien 3 because those films aren't that great. Like, reception was bad. They had some promising ideas, but it was like executed terribly. Like, yes, terribly. Yes, the first two films in general, I think they're probably some of the best like sci-fi films ever. They have the perfect blend of horror and action, and you can see why they make it so iconic, why sci-fi movies nowadays try to mimic that type of art style, that type of direction, but they usually cannot. And the fact that they brought back Romulus to its roots is really great. I've seen some people online say that Romulus wasn't that great. They didn't really feel like the original. I don't get it. I don't get the people that say they don't love Romulus. Yeah, that's cool. Everyone has different tastes and all, but I'm one of those people that absolutely love this film. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. The Xenomorphs, like in lore, when you get into reading the comics or reading some of the books about them, they are terrifying. The fact that they are supposed to be the perfect organism, the perfect killing machine, is really damn terrifying. You know what's interesting that made me want to do this video? The fact that they actually released an Avengers versus Aliens crossover book, and it had pretty much the Xenomorphs taking over the planet, and like the Marvel heroes and villains dying to the Xenomorphs, which I'm gonna be honest, there's 100% no way the any Marvel hero or villain could fall down to some Xenomorphs, especially Apocalypse. There's like this one panel where Apocalypse is taking down a whole queen, a whole hive of Xenomorphs. He goes out in the blades of glory. I'm just like, how? How is that even possible? I don't want to spoil too much about that comic. It's pretty good. It's made by Jonathan Hickman. Currently one issue out. I highly recommend go read it. Just suspend your disbelief about what could happen. Just enjoy the story, and it's pretty cool. Overall, pretty cool concept. And I just love the fact that more people are getting back into the Alien franchise. I know Hollywood has a habit of just rebooting stuff, bringing some of the old classics and re-bringing them to modern things. But honestly, I gotta say, the Xenomorph franchise is one of those things that deserves to be brought back. As much as people hate like reboots and remakes, I honestly think this is a series that has like full potential, especially since we're getting closer and closer to the timeline of the actual films in the 21st century. I really do think there's some really cool concepts out there that they could do, especially with the technology improving for cinematography, for making films. I really do believe that the Xenomorph franchise can grow. It does have potential. It's going in a really interesting place, and the fact that they're bringing back practical effects is all the better thing, because like, I'm gonna be honest, CGI is not the worst thing ever. I know a lot of people hate CGI or VFX artists, but no, nothing rude to them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to be really, really good with it. But the fact that they were able to replicate some of the practical stuff and add it onto this film was amazing. The Xenomorphs overall are just terrifying. Terrifying. If these things actually exist in real life, I mean, for all we know, they probably could, and the government is hiding them. I would 100% be terrified of them. Overall, the Xenomorphs as a whole, as a concept, is very, very fascinating. I've always been fascinated by them because they're just so cool. Like, they're scary looking. They are the primordial fear of humans. It's something in the dark. It's something, because humanity as a whole fears the unknown, and the fact that someone decided to come up with the idea of the Xenomorphs is terrifying. It makes you wonder, is there something like this out there somewhere in the deep dark corners of the universe? I surely did not want to find out. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the Xenomorph franchise, on the aliens, because if you look into the lore and stuff like that, it gets absolutely crazy. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. And Romulus was good. I like the original too. They're pretty nice. Other films, okay, not the best, not my favorite. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree with me? Anyways, I do have a few videos planned. I will be in Canada this weekend, but expect a Warhammer video to drop sometime this weekend, because with Space Marine 2 dropping, I got some cool stuff planned. Also, cosplays are coming back. I currently have a few cosplays in the works for New York Comic Con, so be sure to check that out. Check out my other channel. I just talked about the Terminator anime, which is really good. I'm glad they're bringing back some of the classics, 80s, some of the best things ever. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on my next one.